We have been taught that we stay safe when we stay silent. But our silence is choking us, and it is an unpeaceful peace. And so, what is the silence that you need to break in your life, in your work, in your love, in your and for your future, that might serve to transform how you move through the world, to creating what we call in emotional justice a humanity-centered healing? A humanity-centered healing is when all our emotions are universal emotions. That the opportunity to work through a set of feelings about the world, its injustice, its violence, its refusal to honor you for the spirit and the beauty and the power and the talent that you have, that feeling a particular way about that is a human reality. It need not and it should not be racialized. Emotional justice connects those individual emotional realities to institutions and to systems. It treats the emotional as structural, saying that we have been taught this in the systems that we work in, whether it's education, entertainment, healthcare. Why do black women have a particular experience when they're in these worlds of healthcare, education, different than others? Why is it that your pain cannot be identified and considered as pain when it's emerging out of your body? Aren't you human too? How do you not feel pain? Why isn't your fragility seen as a fragility requiring empathy, as opposed to you're being treated as a person of suspicion who is then becomes a threat? Why aren't emotions safe in your body to be expressed and then received in the human way that you feel them by the rest of the world? Emotional justice was about saying, particularly as black women, as brown women in the world, we need a love language that is about giving ourselves grace first. Why? Because we have been nurtured and taught that the most powerful thing we can do as women is give of ourselves and all of ourselves to everybody outside of yourself. The idea of centering you, the idea of centering you is not what a great woman does. It's not what a badass woman does. It's not what a loving woman does. It's not what a great woman does. A great woman gives and 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 gives. And it doesn't matter that she has nothing left to give. No one's asking her about that. It doesn't matter that she's burnt out, exhausted, enraged, resentful. It doesn't matter that she feels all of those things, because as long as she keeps giving, the world will keep applauding her for being a badass woman. Or the warrior woman, the one who shows up on the front line, always willing to stand up and support anybody if there's an issue of injustice or some protection. And nobody questions if her front line is breaking her spirit or breaking her soul. We just expect her to show up. And worse than that, we can shame her if she doesn't. Same for the sister who's expected to give, the women who's expected to give. You ever had that experience where you just don't want to do it, or you just don't have it to give, or you don't want to do it, and yet you do it anyway? And yet you do it anyway. Emotional justice was about saying, we have a legacy of untreated trauma that is the result of how we have been taught about the way the world came to be and our role in it as black, brown, indigenous, and white people. And all of us, black, brown, white, indigenous, all of us have to unlearn that. Why? Because it taught all of us that one group of people does the work, does the labor, and another group of people are the beneficiaries of that work, the beneficiaries of that labor. And as long as the people who are doing the labor keep doing the labor, everything will be fine. What if the people who are doing the labor are understanding that this is unjust, it's unfair, And that's actually not how you have a humanity-centered healing. What about how you see yourself as a result of all that emotion that you're pushing down and doesn't get a chance to find its way in the air?